Okay, class is in session. On the 17th of July, the UK's new Prime Minister Keir Starmer laid out his government's plans for the upcoming parliamentary term through the King's Speech.
Establish the appropriate legislation to place requirements on those working to develop the most powerful artificial intelligence models.
The King's Speech stated the Starmer-led government will seek to establish the appropriate legislation to place requirements on those working to develop the most powerful artificial intelligence models. In the Prime Minister's introduction, Starmer stated, "We will harness the power of artificial intelligence as we look to strengthen safety frameworks." The responsible development of AI stands as one of today's most critical global challenges. As artificial intelligence permeates every aspect of our lives, from healthcare to finance, the urgency for robust regulatory frameworks have been a topic of discussion. Recently, the King hinted at forthcoming appropriate legislation to govern the AI sector, leaving many to speculate about the specifics and timing of these crucial measures. The manifesto also pledged to support the development of the AI sector, specifically by removing planning barriers for new data centers. Additionally, it promised the creation of a national data library to consolidate existing research programs and facilitate data-driven public services. The aim is to harness science and technology to fuel economic growth and transform public services. When people talk about economic growth, I'm always reminded that true growth is impossible in a debt-based society. Paying debt with more debt only increases the national debt. So, where is the collateral? It's your data. Data harvesting has become a major industry. If you ever wondered what the most valuable commodity is, it's your data. Recently, the new Labour government announced the expansion of the Department for Science, Innovation, and Technology, bringing together experts in data, digital, and AI from the Government Digital Service, the Central Digital and Data Office, and the Incubator for AI. This strategy is intended to unify the digital transformation of public services under one department. With the majority of the UK public's attention being directed to the ongoing riots and demands for change from the government's immigration regulations, the public are completely overlooking one of the biggest changes to their country. Now, here's some of the current concerns faced. With this recent legislation, the King's Speech highlighted the government's intent to establish legislation for those developing the most powerful AI models. While these models are often discussed by Silicon Valley executives as distractions, they have the potential for significant social and economic impact. Legislation aims to push both future and current AI challenges, including AI-powered surveillance, live facial recognition, and secretive algorithms infiltrating welfare systems, schools, policing, and the healthcare service. Based on my observations, this appears to be the next push towards an extensive high-tech surveillance society. Just like the US and others, the UK government are taking steps towards a draconian police system. It's imperative that those in power monitor the masses to exert control or to neutralize potential threats. It's no surprise that these plans are accelerating as we draw closer to 2025 and 2030. Although not mentioned in the King's Speech, a new digital information and smart data bill is being introduced to further commercialize personal data and expand digital ID verification. This has been a major concern for years. Slowly but surely, the use of digital devices has been superseding that of traditional methods. And while digital IDs have been branded to offer convenience and security, it couldn't be further from the truth. Digital IDs pose significant risks to privacy, security, and equality. Everyone should have the right to choose non-digital identification methods, ensuring equal access to services for all, regardless of digital access. Interestingly, the UK government also committed to a renewed push to achieve full gigabit and national 5G coverage by 2030. Government also announced a new crime and policing bill to strengthen community policing and grant greater powers to address antisocial behavior. Public space protection orders could fine individuals for activities such as rough sleeping and drinking. Recently, we witnessed these powers being used to limit freedom of expression and criminalize homelessness. What kind of mindset drives individuals to penalize the homeless? What logic is there to fine someone who has no money? When a desperate person has no money and no opportunities to earn, they often resort to criminal activity, which only feeds the criminal justice system. Some employees are required to clock in with biometric data, have their mouse clicks monitored, or wear electronic productivity devices. Despite promises to strengthen employment rights, protections against employment surveillance were absent from the King's speech. With 60% of workers experiencing some form of surveillance and 25% subjected to device monitoring, this is a growing issue. The government claimed to intensify their efforts to secure protections for workers' rights against intrusive surveillance. This sounds promising, but highly unlikely that they will move away from further surveillance. Now, there should be no surprise that this has been announced. The plans to integrate society and AI have been on the agenda for decades. But what we're now seeing is the legal integration and regulation of AI dominance, surveillance, and control. I'm not opposed to regulation, and I understand that AI technology can be exploited by individuals with their own agendas. We are already besieged by spam, scams, deepfakes, and various cyber attacks. However, my concern lies in what can be done when this increasingly powerful technology is unjustly used against us by its own regulators. Now, I'm not one to believe that AI will take over the world. There are powerful families who already have that covered. But what AI will do is dramatically amplify areas of control, dependency, and surveillance, which is needed to push further agendas. So, stay vigilant and don't be distracted. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.